Now, from family memories to community milestones, there's an organization that wants to make sure Greer's history is preserved and shared. Here to tell us about the newly established Greer Historical Society, we have David Lovegrove. You're the director of the museum, the Greer Heritage Museum. Welcome, great to see you.
That's right, thank you. Glad to be here.
You're a big believer that Greer has a story that's really worth sharing. From early days as a railroad town, give us that overview.
Yeah, Greer really started as almost a Wild West, moonshine, murder, and mayhem. And then it worked really hard to make it the destination it is today that we all love.
Yeah, and so you brought a few pieces from over the years and things that you could bring from the museum. Let's start with there's a vase at the end that represents an important milestone.
That's right. Greer was founded 150 years ago next year, and from 1976, this is a centennial memorial bottle. That's right.
How did you acquire this, and how do you acquire a lot of things? I'm sure the stories are great.
Yeah, people in Greer love their community, and they bring to us artifacts and items from Greer's history that are meaningful. They want to share with the whole community.
And that's part of the thing. We'll get into it a little bit later. People that have pictures and documents and things, you would love to take those and scan them into record.
Absolutely. Make them available to the public to view and read and enjoy.
All right, so as that milestone is coming along, there's a piece right next to it. Back into the railroad history. What's that?
Greer started as a railroad town. It was a flag stop, which meant the train didn't stop unless the depot agent flagged it down, and this was the lantern that they would flag down the train with to make it stop.
How did that work? The lantern up and down?
Yeah, that's right. They would use it as a signal lantern. This was originally a candle lantern that had been changed to be electric after a few years.
How did you acquire that one? Is there a good story behind it?
Our very first depot agent in Greer was W.C. Bailey, and this was in his house when they sold it.
That's the thing. People's attics, their homes are filled with riches. This is also, this box right here is going to be the first ballot box.
That's right. Greer's original ballot box from when it was founded. 15 people voted to make it a town.
Wow, and that must have been an excellent treasure to come across. That was one of the stories of how you get this stuff.
That's right. In this case, Wilma Gosnell was the city clerk for almost 70 years, and she had it in her possession and donated it in her will when she passed away.
That's incredible. And I think people are, it's thrilling to be able to hang on to that history and to be able to share it the way you do. And we can talk about what led you to found the Greer Historical Society. What is it that you're hoping to accomplish with that?
Right. Well, as we had the museum, it was really focused on artifacts, but the story of people is very often told in its papers, in letters and business documents, and so building our records and database and then sharing those stories and research with our community, and the Historical Society is a really key way of helping that happen.
Yeah, so you know that people at home have photos and historical records, any other documents that might be relevant to tell Greer's story. Anything that you'd tell those people that you're looking for as we look at some of those gems on screen too, of old Greer?
There are some things that are obviously valuable, but what surprises people is that we find great value in the kind of mundane things that they would. One of our most popular donations this year were love letters from a 15-year-old girl in 1880s. So that's not special in terms of a president of the United States. It's special because it's our local community people and seeing into their hearts.
And what's it like to read the letters of that time is to see what day in the life was like back then, right?
Yeah, someone once said that looking into the past is like visiting a foreign country, and it kind of is. People were different. They did things differently then, and it's delightful to see, even in these love letters. She rejected a boy, and he wrote her back and addressed it to the mistress of Satan. It was an amazing time.
There was a great sense of humor back there. You just had to wait a long time to hear back and forth sometimes. But, history is not preserving itself. That's kind of why you're on this mission, and a lot of people are really passionate about it. So as people become maybe a charter member of the Greer Historical Society, what are they doing? What are they able to do?
Right. We have a newsletter that we publish new findings and new research, and then in November we'll have what we're calling a symposium, which is a big fancy term for just telling the stories that we've uncovered over the last few months.
Can you give us a preview of one of those stories? I felt like, you know, every little piece, it pretty much deserves its own segment. But what's one of those that's exciting as we look at the Greer Heritage Museum there on screen?
Yes, one of the most amazing things that is a recent donation are letters that were written by the wife of the first mayor.
Very cool.
And when she was an 18-year-old girl, she was writing letters to her sister and telling us what life was like from before the founding of Greer till just 10 or 15 years after. It's just a wonderful insight into the time.
Yeah, and you're always able to find more, discover more when everyone's involved, and there's a lot of pride in that in this community.
That's right, and we really love sharing those stories. You saw some of our events there on the screen. We really work hard to make history awesome. It's the opposite of boring, dry lectures. We really make them interesting.
Yeah, and we can tell that, you know, you're passionate about it. It's what connects us and shapes our future, and so there's a lot to get into. And we'll put your information on screen, but anything you want us to know before we go?
No, I'd just love to have you come visit, come join.
Yeah, come back to us too. This was fun. Yes. David, we appreciate it. Learn more about the Greer Historical Society online and visit the Greer Heritage Museum on South Main Street. It is open Thursdays through Sundays and admission is free.